Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for you to accept.
Nothing's flashed on my screen yet, so.
That's the thing that always happens. Sits here and spins.
Yeah, just
Well, then I got to go out and come back in, and it'll fly that
see
in.
my start and update box are white instead of blue, and it won't respond or do anything. And I
There's Junkman.
Oh.
Any other good ideas there, sir?
Um, is it just the time saving one?
Oh no, it's a whole bunch of them again. It's like the whole list that I did the first time. Looks like we're pretty close.
Well, sometimes it'll say
See,
100%.
That's what I don't get, because you just went through and you downloaded them all,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. It's like yours didn't keep the downloads or something for some reason.
That seems like it. Yeah. Do I restart the whole machine?
I don't think you need to
No.
do that. Just restart the entire game, maybe.
Well, he did.
Like
I
quit
think
it.
he did that.
Oh, okay.
I think he did that because he tried that first. But what I don't get is he just sat here. He was talking to me and downloading them, and then it's like he came back in and it's not downloaded. It doesn't make any sense to
Yeah,
me.
that I don't know that I've had that happen once, but did it again and then it worked.
I just hit the download button again and just download them. They'll either download it or they won't.
Yeah, because I guess I've had that. Let's see. Nope.
Because if it was just one or two mods, I could probably live without them, and I could take them out. But where it's the whole thing, I mean, the map is a mod, so you have to at least have one of them.
Yeah, it's still doing the same shit.
Had to forget what or I had to remember what we were doing.
Well, this is a restart. This is how the map was originally. You know, after you sent that text about the guy from Whistling Diesel.
Yeah.
Because I've followed Bevies on
well,
Facebook.
That's I don't, but Katie does, and she saw it pop up when
yeah, so did I about like 10-20 minutes after you sent that.
And and then I went over there, and I mean, it was just they were kind of being ninnies about, are you doing regular shopping or whatever. I get it. I guess.
Yeah, and there's a fence.
Oh, is that what I'm driving on?
No, you're driving on train tracks.
Well, I know. Okay, I was gonna follow you, and I was like, oh, there's being here. Let me get it. Oh, I was gonna get out of the road.
Well, no, stay.
Oh, you're gonna unload. Okay. Because see, I was gonna wait till you get over on the other end, and
then. If you follow me to, there's a shed over here. You can get through a hole through there.
Yeah, I
remember. Didn't know. I didn't, because like I grabbed that wagon. We might want to change tractors out. There's a dually over there that might look a little bit more proportionate.
Yeah.
FN Dooley. Well, Redline, are you getting anywhere?
Oh, not yet, but I'm fussing with it.
I
Well, I'll
imagine
tell you what. If you don't get it, we'll exit out of this map and we'll go back to the base game map and at least play that then.
yeah, and that's fine with me.
Oh, I can just watch too. It's fine.
Now, there.
Jump in. You might want to check. You might want to be checking sales because Epic is running a sale right now. They're running a spring sale right now, and so you might want to check to see if the new one's on sale.
Yep, I was actually you beat me to it because I was gonna kind of talk about that. I hadn't looked, but yeah, I'm gonna go.
It's not much taller, but it's a dually.
Yeah, but I was gonna say it. I was pulling it.
Well, and I was worried about is, I guess I don't know. I do and I don't know. If as we add more grain to it, if it's gonna pull it or not.
Yeah, we'll see.
But now we should be able to go around the field without a problem.
But yeah, Whistling Diesel. I mean, I watch. I don't religiously watch his stuff at all. It's kind of like I don't subscribe to him, but occasionally it gets in the feed. I do watch other automotive content, of course, and Katie kind of likes some of it, and some of it is some of like reminds of me of like our shenanigans.
Yeah.
But really, his personality kind of grates on me a little. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of almost like
It's
douchebaggy.
a bit obnoxious to watch, if you want my opinion.
Yes. Sometimes it's like, all right, enough.
Just like a 12-year-old, he needs to settle down.
yeah. I mean, and I get it. That's what his channel's all about, is turning it to 11. But it's almost like you didn't like how to put it. It's just it's a little over
Some
the
of it's
top.
really done.
I guess I.
Hey, I restarted the whole machine, and like Farm Sim's updating and Steam's updating and
Nice.
like installing things. I haven't turned it off in a long time.
There you go. Well, and
No
there was a Windows update this week too, I think.
Yeah. Well, and of course Chris is on 10, or 10, 11. You're on 11. I'm on 10, and later this year I'll have to upgrade. I've been putting it off because things about 11 privacy-wise I don't like.
Speaking of that, we were talking about phones today. We were talking about a phone that you could just use as a phone and it's not connected to the internet and not giving out your location all the time and stuff. Because one of the guys at work is really wanting something like that, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, "Well, how much is it?" And they're like, "Well, the cheap one is 300, and the other one was 600." And I said, and then I was like, "Well, but," I said, "the other problem I see with this is you can't use Google Maps then if you don't have it connected to the internet." And they're like, "Well, we'll just buy a GPS." And I was like, "Yeah, that's its own headache, because then you have to connect it to update it, and then on top of that, like, at least with Google Maps, and one of the things I kind of found here recently is that it's kind of nice. If here in the last couple of years, I found really nice it updates when there's an accident. It updates if there's
Yeah.
like a cop ahead or
Well,
um
it pulls data from like Waze and like people who have opted in to report stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little tinfoil hat here and there, but at a certain point, it's like there's only so much you can do. I hope it's not that. I think the Patriot phone or something like that. That is
No, it's not. But it's not that.
because that is not. That is kind of a little bit of false marketing because it's just kind of a stripped down version of Android that's been kind of rooted. I mean, it's something you could do on your own, but it's not
This
it's not all it says. It's playing to the boomers that have, well, maybe my parents, kind of thing. But it doesn't really.
This to me it looked like well, no, it was a smart, it's a smartphone looking thing. They made it so that it was a small handheld thing, but that was part of the problem. Is the first thing I noticed is like it was so small, and then the other thing I didn't like about it was like you were seeing where the programming and stuff, it looked like it was cheaply, like someone went in and wrote a program, and it's not all polished and clean. It's just very rudimentary computer program.
Yeah, I mean,
and then when I asked, I said, "Well, how much is the price?" And they said $300. So like, no.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's always the thing. Well, the one that kind of irks me is, and I guarantee you've seen the ad somewhere or even heard it on radio, is uh like they're called like rescue radio or something like that, where it's a push to, what it is a push to talk cell phone, like the old Nextel push to talk setup. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Derek, you had one of those time.
Yeah, that was for a job, but yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. But here's the thing I don't like. I mean, don't like about it. Well, the way they market it is, it's like at times of natural disasters and blah 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 and all this, you can talk to push to talk to your family and whatever, and it's like, well, yes, but no, because it's like it still requires the cell tower. So if they're down, effed, not a radio. Well, it's not a radio how they're like marketing it. But what I don't really like is they say no monthly subscription, which is a lie because it's a yearly subscription. So it technically is a monthly, but you buy the radios and they give you like the first year free, see? And then they just, it'll be when you sign up, of course it's free. They charge you for the radios. And then, but then it's, it's probably on it's on an auto subscribe. So in a year, people don't remember that. And then all of a sudden you get, and it's not like it's expensive. So I mean, that's why I'm not knocking the price. I think it's, I forget, like I mean, it's not insignificant, but it's not outrageous. It's like $99 or $90. It's, works out to like less, $7 a month. So yeah, it might be worth it for some people, but I'm just saying I don't like how they market it, because they sell it like it's, you buy, like they sell it like, when you buy a CB radio, you buy the radio, it's just always gonna work, kind of thing. They act like this is that, and it's like, not really. And then also, it depends on whatever contracts they have with whatever carriers. If those continue forever, you might lose access in some places because their deal with Verizon's towers, they couldn't it's just like when Dish, you lose channels, or even the cable companies, because of contract disputes. Just,
Yeah.
like I said, it's not like, some people are calling it a scam. No, it's not a scam. You get what you pay for. It's just they disguise how you're paying for it. They act
Yeah.
like it's kind of, you buy it once and then it's free after that, and it's really not. That's the part I don't. But and I feel like they get people like maybe coworker or like, say, like my folks or something. My folks wouldn't probably fall for it or wouldn't want it, but I mean they wouldn't understand maybe that element of.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I see some of that, and that's like, like I'm kind of a prepper, but like common, more of a pragmatic prepper, I guess you could say, because it's like, but some of these companies are just totally playing into that, famine and stuff is going to happen. And it's like, well, I mean, yes, it could. I mean, I don't doubt it, but it's like, they're fear, a little bit of fear marketing.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. This phone deal is a little bit.
Well, from the ad I saw, they weren't trying to. They weren't trying to do that. It was just a regular ad, and it was just showing the features and stuff. And it's just that the phone itself reminded me of like a Game Boy or something.
Okay.
The technology was like, it looked like you stepped back a few decades, and I guess my guess is it's cheaper built, and they wrote their own programming for it, and it's just not spit and polished.
Yeah.
But it works, But they weren't trying to say anything like that about like when the cell phone towers go out or whatever. Actually, what the commercial was about was like there was like a boyfriend girlfriend or a husband wife, and they were like oh, just check out this new phone that I got. It's like you can call on it, you can text on it, and it's not connected to the internet.
I tell you what, the sell would be parents who kid wants phone or something. It gets appropriate age and stuff, but you just want them to be able to call you, or you call them, or text. Yes, that to me that should be the marketing. If it has no internet, kind of deal. Derek, you're right. You're right in the thick of that era. I think your kids, mine are. I got a bot in Twitch. Like, hey, your energy is incredible. I'd love to support you. Well, if you want to support me, follow and give me super thanks on YouTube. Get off of Twitch. Until it's such a fake user. Out of your way
here. I will take care of that.
No, don't. They're not harassing. They're not. I mean, if you want to, you can do it, but.
Well, usually I can report them.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm running through Restream, so I can't just.
He's blocked.
Okay. There you go.
And reporting them.
What am I in the thick of down here? Is that what you said a minute ago?
Well, we were talking about that cell phone that is literally just a phone and text. That's like, well, that's you're right in that thick of it with your kids' age range where they want a phone or have a phone, and that. I don't know. I got a ways. I got some years before that's going to come up, and
Well, that happened way sooner than it should have, honestly.
Yeah, I think I think for a lot of people it does, and I'd like to say it won't for me, but I'll be wrong probably.
So, when they get old enough to stay home, it's super convenient.
Yeah.
But he's taken care of.
Okay. Good.
Um,
Well, I know.
it's-
I was just saying it's like that should be the marketing though for this cell phone. Is that use
I
case?
haven't even seen this thing. I kind of want it. If it doesn't do anything else, that'd be perfect.
it doesn't. I just don't want to come up with $300 to pay for it. Plus, like I said, I use.
What network
At
does
this
it
point,
run
I've
on? I guess
gotten-
that's the other thing. I mean, they're all
Well, see, that's the other thing I don't know. That I don't know any of that.
I got all my work information and notes and measurements and crap on my phone now.
yeah.
Like I do
mean,
everything with it. It commutes the gauges and communicates with my outboard on the workboat at this point. It
Well,
tells me service
keep-
codes and when to change the oil and all that kind of cool stuff.
I keep my gym notes on my phone now
See, I don't
instead of carrying that notebook around.
Right?
I don't utilize mine as much as I could. I mean, it's a productivity thing for me a little bit, but like, and keeping track of like stuff. And sure, I do browse Facebook, but I still prefer to do most of my stuff on desktop.
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy anything, whatever, like that. But yes, I do keep notes of like what you're saying, Derek, a little bit, and of things, especially if I'm working on a project. And I do have, and I store a lot of that in Google Docs, so I can access it from pretty much any device. So like the rental and stuff, like the furnace filter size and things, stuff like that. So I have it at the ready. I need something. I need to know.
I got a Google Docs fucking complaint, actually. It's not Google Docs. It's, Microsoft makes all your shit the same shit everywhere you go,
Yeah.
So I plugged in my old PC to pull some crypto off of it.
Yeah.
And it updated, and I logged into my email to pass the transfer link over because I was
Your
moving
wallet
it to
link.
Right. Well, so my
steering
seed
is all-
trade is just on the desktop in a folder, right? But now I've linked all my shit together, and I don't know where it's at because it's no longer on the desktop in a folder. It's often we linked your shit
It's
together.
somewhere on a OneDrive that's on your account. I'm just guessing.
We have 3 accounts, and I don't know how to get into any one of them on purpose.
I mean,
It may just be fucking gone. So I'm gonna have to
No.
find hours to dig for it.
OneDrive's pretty easy to get into. There's a down in the right hand corner. There's a spot to get into it.
or you can just go on. Well, I guess you got to know your login credentials online. Just log into OneDrive, Outlook, any of the Microsoft things. Do it via a browser too.
I just had to clean my OneDrive out over Christmas break.
I
Must be
don't
getting
understand
heavy
how
for
any
this
of that
tractor
works.
because, like, why I ran into you is like I couldn't steer correctly.
What were you saying, Redline?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just bitching.
Oh,
Yeah. Speaking of stopping heavy things, I spent a week, not quite.
I'm gonna go
With
empty.
one,
Oh shoot! Do we have a truck that I can empty into?
um,
'Cause
yes.
This thing is getting too heavy. I think that's why I can't fucking steer.
Yes, and I need to. You reminded me. I need to get rid of these
So let me.
bins.
I'm gonna go into the yard if I can get spun around correctly. I was just gonna go down the hill over here, and I was like, I bet you I can't do that. Well, maybe it does. It flatten out over here? But
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It.
okay, because I don't want to
That
get this
road.
thing
That
stuck.
road is flat. It's right behind where I'm at.
Yeah, I
the
see it
entrance
now.
in the.
Yep, I see it. I'll if I can make the call.
I was putting the work boat in the other day,
Uh-oh.
and it put a rear brake
Whoops.
pad out in the middle of the boat ramp, and just no brakes for about 20 feet. I thought I was putting the whole mess in the river. Luckily, the fronts grabbed hold and got it woed. It was exciting, let me tell you. And
You
luckily,
keep rolling.
my
I'm not
private
gonna
never
I'm not
did.
gonna follow you because I'm just gonna put it down here. And let's see. We got a truck. You said somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it over here so I can just drive under it.
Yeah,
if I
I'm
can
getting I'm getting a silo set up for you.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get the tractor in a position so I can just drive under it. Done.
Because I meant to do this and I didn't do
Wow,
it,
that's
and now I'm doing it.
okay.
So did you replace your brakes?
Yep, it's
Which-
all good now. I even sprung for extra to get the corrosion preventative ones.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Spend a lot of time in the lake with it, you know. Seemed like a good idea. Got the loader stuck in the lake. The neighborhood got together and we improved our boat ramp situation quite a bit. And I managed to bury the skid loader. Had to go drag it out with the road grader.
Okay, so am I gonna be dumping into that red silo? Is
Yep.
that where I'm gonna eventually
Yep.
go? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So did you guys have wind damage and storms a few weeks ago?
Oh yeah. I was. That too.
Oh yeah, there's some. I got and there were some trees down and a few roofs tore up here and there, nothing crazy. And we didn't get nailed or nothing. Not right here anyway.
Well, I saw a picture online of a boat dock area in Missouri that was just like everything was all pushed all together. All the boats were pushed together, and all the docks were pushed on top of each other, and it looked like a mess. And I was like, well, I hope that's not where you're at, because I know those storms went east.
But no, I need some of that. I'm the dock repair guy.
I think I was a little bit more work. That would have been like a 5-year project from what I saw.
Right?
I guess,
No, we
I
didn't.
guess that's job security, but
Right. Oh, I've got plenty of job security so far this year. It's kicking right off.
nice.
Although, in interesting news, some of my local competitions it's like their backup boat. It's a great big thing tied to the end of another dock that's not his. It's been sitting there a long time, but it sank just a couple of weeks ago, and it's not tied to the dock with a little rope or something. It's like log chained to the frame, and so it ripped a bunch of the frame up and kind of mangled some of it.
In a place that it eventually end up going down the river. Oh.
No, we don't have that kind of current
Oh,
here.
okay. Well, I mean, a big
it's
storm or.
arguably it's lake, but it sure seems like river. This time of year they run the water level down quite a bit, and they keep some current moving, like kind of slow. And it's something to do with the reproductives of the fish or whatever. I don't know. But, so yeah, it was interesting. That's been the latest fun, I guess. And then Nebraska fires. We had like wildfires and stuff kind of near here, which I didn't know was a thing here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
I don't think it's often a thing, but we do have the occasional burn restrictions.
Well, we've had that been going on for a couple weeks here.
Yeah, and it's just a regular thing out here. So I mean,
It-
that's just
And see, I don't ever remember, and I don't know if this is just because we never hear about it growing up because we didn't have the communications that we do now, or what. But like, I don't ever remember this being a problem, and now I hear about it. I've been hearing about it all the time for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it does seem. I can't decide. Yeah, is this stuff getting a little bit worse, or are we just better connected and hear about all the problems
See,
now instead of we
I
used
think it's
one
more the connectivity. You know, instant like okay, something happens out here. What am I doing? I'm texting you guys, and you're finding out about it. Or and other people are doing that, and then it hits the news or it hits somebody's feed. And
Otherwise, I'd never know.
yeah,
You know,
so
I wouldn't know. Honestly,
Well,
I was discussing with one of the neighbors. We were having a debate about why it smelled like smoke outside and whether or not that was fog or smoke. And then, I don't know, 4 days later, I seen something on Reddit about fires upwind, and I went, "Oh, that's what that is."
yeah, but see, that's the thing. You
Yeah.
didn't have Reddit
I
before, you
wouldn't
know.
know. Yeah, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have had Reddit. I'd have just been, I wonder what that was about. And would have never given another thought.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, like, the news right now has been like any little thing at an airport that happens, they report it
Well,
ever since
I feel
Washington
that's-
D.C.
I
And
feel that's
it's
more
like they're-
engagement stuff.
And-
Like they need the ad revenue, so they need the eyeballs. So it's just engagement. Think about,
Yeah,
I mean, like what we're doing.
You know what? Speaking of ad revenue, I just had to watch an ad on your channel, John. You need to get better ads.
Well,
He-
unfortunately, I don't get to
Terrible.
choose them. I mean, I do have
I'm super-
I do have an ad for my merchandise, my swag, rolling on my screen here.
Oh, speaking of that, my merchandise should be here. It said it shipped.
Oh, that is your stuff rolling over there. I hadn't bothered to notice.
Yeah, well, I just whipped that up real quick. I need to make something better. I do have a couple other things. I mean, it's not on there, but I have some shirt stickers, things like that, where I made up some things. I mean, one of them, I'll clean your car, but I have one
Yeah, I
that's
saw that.
no clutch given. Then I got 99 problems with the carb ain't one.
I'm gonna have to buy a no clutch given for the boy, and then the 99 carbs.
Well, and then
but
I have
clutch ain't
I have
one.
one down, five
Two.
up, but it has like first gears. Like I've got to get each one has something. My first gear is like as he does it. Neutral is like exclamation point stuff, like, you know, when you get that false neutral, you know.
Yeah.
Second is like, here we go, like easy does it or something. Third is like, now we're talking. Fourth, it's like, come on, damn it, or I forget. And then five's like, yeehaw, or whatever. Then I got some other like made, and I made those cheap so you can buy a bunch.
Yeah, I'll have to get the teenager a couple of shirts. He's the local carburetor guy at
Okay.
this point.
Well, then he needs to clean your carb, or I've got 99 problems. Carb ain't one.
Yeah.
And I got
Yeah,
them
I
on
was- I
shirts
showed him
too.
that the other day. I showed him that on a picture. I just showed him a picture of it the other day, and we had a chuckle. But yeah, he's had the carb off the bug about 37 times,
I'm
and
sure.
he's rebuilding the carbs on Dad's bike and getting it running. It's been setting for a while, and
Dad's
I don't
bike,
know.
that's
He's
your
working
bike,
on
right?
bug splitter and
The Dad's bike
Dude.
is your bike. You got to remember that. It's
Right.
still it's still
my
weird.
dad's bike, Grandpa's bike, I guess.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, but it's still weird to me, somewhat. And maybe you
Right.
don't get used to it. I don't know. You have a few.
I don't know, dude. It's weird. I know how you mean. But that, like the other day, Dad had this fucking log splitter he bought when Sam was in high school, and it sat around, and then I dug it out like 5 years ago, and we got down here, and we ran it for a couple of years, and it's just been laying in the woods over there for like 2 years now. And one of the neighbors, his well quit, so I fixed his well and said, "Here, deal with these trees for me. I'll go start that log splitter up for you." When we went and got it, it was stuck. So I put a big old pipe wrench on the engine. We give it a good firm jerk, and it come loose on the crankshaft there. I have to say, the boy took the carburetor apart and soldered up the float enough that he got it to work for a little while.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bothered. I mean, kudos to him, but I would have just dipped it in. Well, my new favorite tank liner is Redco, but
you know what? I was curious what we'd soak it with. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care. I'll just junk the thing.
Well, you're right, but
find another junk motor and slap on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a flathead still. It's so old.
Yeah, or go buy a $99 Harbor Freight deal and put on it.
Yeah. I don't use it. I switched all to pellets now, so I just normally that guy. But his shoulder was bothering him, so he's like, "Oh, I can't split." I dropped a tree on my head the other day, and my shoulder don't work.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'll go get the power tool for you, bud.
Well, I'd probably follow up, but I've got a couple other bikes that I'm working on. One of them was stuck, but because the rotary valve was one of the fiberglass one, put in the smaller display bikes, and it exploded and into the engine, and that destroyed the piston there. Fortunately, cylinder, crank, all that stuff. No, it didn't. I don't know how it didn't. Well, here's the crazy part. The piston and stuff was broken, but like I was able to spin it around, like kick it to check for spark and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, it's free or whatever, or okay. And then I went to kick it one more time, and I didn't have the camera rolling because I already got my shot of, oh, hey, points are good, sensor's good, all that stuff. I was like, kick it around again just to get another shot, but I didn't have the camera rolling, and then, it didn't kick, and I was like, weird. So, I guess I'm taking the head off. Took the head off. Expected to see something up in there or something. Oh, and yeah, the rotary valve. Because it's like splined on there, fiber ones. The splines broke, and then a little piece got sucked in there. But then there was little pieces, and just by a miracle, they all went out the exhausters. So well, anyway, so I had to put a piston. But anyway, got her running, and the other one fired up first kick, after a carburetor. But had spark, all that. But its problem is it sat outside, so the bottom of the tank is all pinholed up, and I tried a different trick to doing that, like this castable epoxy stuff, metal, like you can cast parts out of it, but it's a two-part deal. Well, I'll see, use it almost like a Bondo in a way, but it's like liquid steel and made by Long. And then I'll have to line the tank. Well, perfectly. I gotta have to paint the tank the right color. Got it good enough to ride it around. These bikes actually got them back there semi-locally. Well, actually, they were up at home. I forget the name, but the people, they knew of me and knew who I was and what I do, and so they contacted my mom and says, "Think you'd want these?" Got them. They just wanted to get rid of them. Well, I said no more than this much, and they're like, we got them for that much, you know, kind of thing. So got 2 more projects. Well, and I haven't talked to you. Might have texted you pictures. Finally got an enclosed trailer, and I'm turning it into a mobile museum.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for the progress there, but I'm gonna go to bed, guys. I gotta get up early.
Okay. Yeah,
Have a good
we're not
night.
gonna go too much longer. About a half hour maybe,
That sounds fun.
or whatever. Seems.
Yeah.
I don't think they hear you.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah, no,
No.
they're being ignored.
I
I heard Derek.
Yeah, I heard you.
said hi.
Yep.
Oh, hi. Now I hear you.
Gonna have a whole party in here sometime. Like I said, we want to do a watch party.
Yeah.
So.
I invite her out, and she's all like, "Nah, you guys are too boring."
Well, it's funny.
Phenomenal.
Katie
It's
loves
on
it when I
phone
stream
anyway.
because then she goes and watches her story.
Right? Yeah, she talked to her mom.
My mom
Yeah.
retired for 2 days.
Oh yeah, her mom retires in 2 days. She went to big.
Oh, nice.
Are you guys coming back for the action this year?
I don't think so.
Because I just saw something posted on it last weekend, and so I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time this year. I'm pretty snowed in.
Yeah, we're having to almost work like the next 6 days, work 6 days a week for the next 2 months to get everything caught up that needs to be done before Memorial Weekend.
I see.
Yeah.
Winter was terrible.
Yeah. And the wind. Supposed to be windy tomorrow too.
I got like normal winter all the way down here. It was awful.
Tomorrow than we are here.
We didn't have no more up here other than just cold.
Yeah. Although the ice damage did sell me a bunch of work, so there's that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'll see you guys later, man.
Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah, hopefully I'll do this more often.
Hey, try and come down sometime so we can all hang out.
Yeah,
Yep. Got to
Yep.
plan a lake trip.
My kids are finally old enough that it makes it easier. So, yeah, it's
I've got 5 bedrooms to place, so
it's definitely come up in conversation between me and Katie. So,
Right. Yeah, I've been itching to get out there again too.
Yeah, we're trying.
Gonna try for this spring, but I don't know that we're gonna make it. Or one coming up here in a year.
well,
next
and
winter.
even meeting halfway, you go to your folks there, and
Yeah, I've been
there's-
itching to bring the boy out and see the car show. He'll be excited for that.
Yeah.
But anywho,
okay, Yep.
we'll work at that over the year and try again.
Alrighty.
okay.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I was gonna tell you a little bit about event last night. Texted some pictures. That was kind of
Mhm.
like a little weird. Not the event, but the way it started. Or I found out about it, and then B, how you had to you registered, and then they, wasn't like you were just in. They had to kind of like select you or vet you, whatever. I guess But it was like super secretive, so it was like, okay, congratulations, you're registered. Look for another email to see if you're accepted. And I was like, okay, so waited another week or whatever, and then it's like, congratulations, you've been accepted. Look for another email for the venue and all this stuff. It's like, okay, really, you can't tell me where it's gonna be? It's like at least kind of have an idea of where I'm gonna drive and how far and all that. I'm glad it was in the evening. I take off work. But yeah, then it's like 4 days before, then they send out the email. And unfortunately, it was like 10 minutes away from work. Except for, no, it's like downtown. I mean, it was literally it's 2 blocks just east of the Capitol down there. So there's
Yeah.
no parking like traditional parking lot parking for this place
Yeah.
or anywhere. So I mean, I had to park a couple 2-3 blocks away in residential area, and walk. That. I mean, there's meters and stuff, but I wasn't gonna. But they were like, "Oh, it's recommended to ride share." I'd have to download the app, connect, and I mean, like, whereas most people, or just do that around there. I don't.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm really glad I went, and it felt, I guess the best way to describe it is it kind of felt like college. And by what I mean is like, even though, well, I was probably the oldest one there, also the oldest channel, and everything, but it felt like college, as in everybody had a shared experience. We're all on YouTube, and creators, that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's kind of like, I guess, akin to your little farm sim, like average, that you've gotten to know. Only this is sitting down. And so when you talked about something or talked about YouTube, it's like they know what you're talking about because it's like they do it. I'm going to go empty.
That's fine.
Looks like about 50%, and the tractor has a hard
Yeah,
time.
but that, I think that is made for obviously a bigger tractor.
Yeah,
and
well, it's fine.
I fudged Jim $1 million, but
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not like you're filling up before I can get back to you. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it felt like being back in college, because I could just literally just walk up to anybody and talk to them.
not that I would know, but I was like, those few pictures I did see, I was like, I wonder if I know anybody, just like know their channels or something.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. Just like I talked to almost everybody, at least a little bit. A couple that had pretty long, whatever, but there wasn't anybody that did like what I do, automotive or stuff. I guess I don't know too, but but there was a couple of guys, that did stuff with like AI and like run models, stuff like that. Travel, kind of fitness, kind, that. So then, and there was some people that were from like foreign countries that they did, had different perspectives on, and yeah, I did kind of like nerd stuff, like movie review type stuff, but more comic book. There wasn't so much. I didn't anybody that was really like just gamer. Well, I did talk to the YouTube staff, and I talked to actually had gal. She's Texas, actually, but that was helping put on these events from YouTube. She worked. She's been with YouTube. She had been YouTube for like 3 years, but she came from Twitch, as far as like working for Twitch, like marketing and stuff, for like 5 or 6 years. So like maybe pre like Amazon, Amazon but anyway, so just talking to her, being able to talk back end shop type stuff, interesting. I kind of told her my thoughts on shorts and things like, and vertical video. I'm not, a big fan of, and she's like, and I says it's probably more of a symptom or a characteristic of my generation and stuff. Like we watch TV, we watch things landscape. So I don't watch. I mean, I do watch home, but I mean that's not my primary place I consume content or entertainment. Yeah, I get that. And she's like, yeah, I've actually heard that from a lot of people, and stuff. So, and then there was a guy that did magic. Like he plays or does magic shows like in different events. He actually travels around the country. Various. That's his. He does that as a job. He's been able to make it a job. He actually auditioned for like Penn and Teller's show, too. So I guess he was probably the one I talked to the most. Such, but I was worried I'd feel kind of awkward there, just friendlier people or something. But turns out it's like everybody else was just as kind of. It was a lot of people's first time at an event like this. So most everybody was just happy that somebody's coming up to talk to me kind of thing. So like if it was, you might, I mean, if it was like Twitch focused, I mean, I could see you enjoy, because it would be like my folk. And these were I mean, I think there were some bigger creators. Nobody really touted their stats or anything. I know some of them were smaller, but not. But they were all partners, so they had subs. But nobody.
Yeah, and
I only talked
there.
to.
Like, if Twitch did a version of that, I probably wouldn't be allowed because I'm affiliate, I'm not partnered. So.
Well, this didn't have to be partnered people. It's just I think most everybody partner because talked about some revenue strategy, but like there was only a couple people that like that magic guy, but he was doing his magic, not really YouTube full time. But most other people weren't living yet. They weren't like big creators. And funny part is there's this one guy, and his wife does kind of hair and makeup, but he then fitness and travel, or they both kind of do travel stuff, travel fitness, but he like works in aviation, so like fairly mechanical, smart, and I said, I don't know how to, like, and he's like, let me look you up. I think I've seen you, or or something like that. I doubt it, And he went to my channel and saw the logo. He's like, no, yeah, I have watched some of your videos. I mean, what are the odds? Because I mean, if you just looked at him from afar, you wouldn't think he work on cars. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I enjoyed it way more than I thought. I guess I didn't go in any expectation. I thought, you know what? I'll set a goal to talk to everybody, at least, ask who you are, what do you do, kind of content, ask kind of those questions. I don't know, in a way, sort of just forcing myself to be social in a group that I don't know at all, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I hope they do another one, and they probably will. Had a good turnout, and back and all that. I mean, they did it last year, I think, for Denver, first year. But I think they've been doing that. YouTube has only done thing, but not all 50 states. See, like, there's one in Omaha, so like technically you could sign up for that, but of course you didn't drive to Omaha. And it wouldn't be worth the 4-hour drive, you know. Like if it was
Yeah.
in Grand Island or even, now I don't know. If it was like 2 hours away, that, you know, not the
Yeah, but there. Okay, well, there is a big star in the middle of the state for YouTube, but other than that, like, there wouldn't be.
Well, there's a dude in Hastings
a-
that I follow.
There's. Oh, well, there wouldn't be that many content creators out here, I would think.
I think you'd be
There's-
surprised. No, you know,
Uh,
not like
there's-
million sub
the-
people, but
There's a big one over in York, in the farming, or she was a farmer. I mean, she started out she was the one I was talking about earlier today at work. She started out with a farm channel, and then I was talking about how I got into watching because I needed to find ideas for content. But I said I stopped kind of watching because she kind of stopped farming.
yeah.
I mean, not in real life, but she kind of stopped putting content
Yeah,
out, or
content.
didn't put as much farming content out. So I kind of stopped watching her.
Yeah, you know, well, that was the thing. I mean, even though, you know, granted, here it's area, you know, Denver likes to think it's a big city. So I wouldn't have thought there was as signed up for this deal or found out about it. Because, again, I found out it through the Discord, but I guess other people follow the creator blog and it was there. I don't creator blog. Maybe I should, but I, you know, it'd be probably surprised. There's probably a lot of people like around. You just don't know it. They do some kind of content that watch or they're out and about. Like I'm not announcing to the world, hey, I'm a you kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of have to be in the right situation, right people, for it to come up like, oh, so what do you do as a hobby? Or something. I might say that, oh, I kind of do. But I rarely do that.
Well,
Conversation.
you know, speaking of that, at work, like, there's only a handful of people at work that know that I actually am a content creator
Well, that's kind of the same.
of some sort, because like I think there's only maybe, like, I could probably count them all on one hand, and it's basically everybody in my office, and then like maybe I know one other person for sure, and maybe another person. I bet no one else in that company knows. And the thing is, I'm like, granted, I'm not making content exactly because I'm gaming versus real life, but I'm kind of in the right realm of things.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing is, honestly, your content, I mean, like Twitch content, I mean, yeah, people tune in to see the game, but again, sometimes they're tuning in for the personality or just the community part. So
Yeah.
So yeah, like for example, Gold. You know, I mean, I try to catch him just because he comes in, obliges me, but you know, I do generally like got some people chatting and talking, and well, and that Nacho guy too.
Yep.
He's got a good personality. It's like
Yeah.
I end up like
I caught him last weekend.
yeah, well, and like me and Katie just sat there and watched it. He was doing GTA Online, and you know, yeah, we were watching what he was doing, but like the way he was not just reacting to his competence, but like his guy who was playing, partner that in the game. There was some good kind of banter back and forth, so it was kind of, I wasn't just there for gay, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's kind of hard to do. Like, I don't know, talk about if that aged too much, but whatever. I'm here to just, make
Well,
and
I don't know. I don't know if you catch those kinds of reels or not. I've seen like what we do isn't necessarily too far off of some of the stuff I've seen in reels and stuff. Now, granted, we do it in more of a long form because we do a whole stream of it, um, but I've seen videos where like they're just doing something in the background, and then we're just we're talking about stuff, and that's why I was like, kind of like this kind of was what the podcast was um because that's what kind of what we're still doing. It's just that now we have something going on in the foreground.
yeah, well, and that's kind of let adds a little bit, and then or decide, well, I'll talk else, not just
Yeah.
yeah, but the like I said, a good event. I definitely, again, and I wasn't sure. I almost kind of backed out at the last minute. Anyway, put the, part of it was put the effort, drive down there, find parking, walk, and then walk up and talk. That I don't really have social anxiety, but I ain't one of those that just likes to, like,
Yeah.
I have to
I,
I have to
I can
I have to I don't want to say force myself, but I have to be deliberate, I guess, about what I'm going to. Yeah. Kind of like when I've been to that big car show, Concord. I have to make it a point. I mean, some people will engage with me. Oh, hey. But when I want to go find them, and
Mhm.
anyway, yeah, this seemed a lot easier than like events like events like that. I say, going back to the call, we're all in the same. We're all experiencing,
Yeah.
and like I always like. I know VidCon's like a different thing, and but I always kind of wondered what that's like, not as a fan, but as a creator. I guess maybe this. And like I said, I don't know if I got any ideas, but it was nice to talk about different ideas, or they just kind of interesting. A lot of the people kind of that's 5 years.
Mm.
Like I said, I got recognized as the oldest channel there. Because I told the lady, like, oh, well, you know a lot. Then it's like, yeah. There was only a couple, because there was one other guy that had been on for a while. Like, he remembered Google Plus. That's been a something. And they forced you, if you were on YouTube, like had a YouTube. Or to, sign in.
Well, you can always move them over too.
Well, I will, but it's... Yeah, I'll get the... Oh, what I'll do is I'll move.
I'm gonna use this opportunity. I let the dog out earlier, and now I just heard her barking. So
Park this.
yeah, I think this will be the last map as far as like we're going through the rotation, because there was one other map that I was gonna play, but Casual tried it out with another guy on a multiplayer, and he was having issues with it.
Okay.
So I think we've got 4 maps going at the moment. So and then if you did happen to get 25, we can.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep these going, obviously, so that Derek can play. But
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna like
but
or anything. And and you know,
I might pair it. If you switched, I might pair them down to just doing like Elma and this one.
yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny. Made me think of this. I was having troubles my game was, and I didn't have any issue loading. I don't know what was going last week. Other than, I was spinning and you see me trying to come in. Like that's kind of normal. But that could be
Well, you know what? Like he was talking to me about updates and stuff. I went in and I updated 2 mods. It's very possible that I didn't have things updated.
Well, maybe, but I wasn't. I couldn't even get. It wasn't like I couldn't get in. It was like the damn game, like just crashing. Not upon load, but after it load, then it would fuck up and crash, and I couldn't even get to, to try to get in on the multiplayer. But this time, smooth like it should be.
Speaking of that, we need to decide what we're gonna do next week, because next week I'm starting the sports.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can try a different night.
I'll have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays open.
Well, maybe we go back to Friday. I don't know. We could probably go back to Friday.
Okay.
Maybe let's just shoot for.
We could do that. Otherwise, we may have to push it to Wednesday. We'll just see how things go.
Yeah, most work. Tuesdays won't always, because there's H. So.
Well, and this is only for 4 weeks, but towards the end of April we'll be done with it.
Yeah.
So, because he's just going to soccer, which kind of brings up an interesting story, or to me, it was interesting. Uh, so I had to get on football and soccer shoes. We went to a sporting goods store, and um, we go to the wall of shoes, and I said, okay. I said, what do you like? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, you get to pick out, for the most part, you get to pick out whatever pattern or color or whatever you like, whatever catches your eye. And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, what about these black ones? So we asked about the black ones. I think they were black originally, and they we found they ended up like we got there, they ended up like super swamped for some reason. Like all these people started when we got back there was like maybe one person that was doing something, and while we were trying to pick out shoes, there was like 5 different groups of people trying to pick shoes out. But anyways, so found so the gal goes back, tries to find the first one, and she's like, okay, well here's the box for it. I can't find the other shoe. And she's like, the model that's on the stand isn't the size that the box is, which is the size that we told them. So she's looking around, she in their storerooms, and then she finally comes back and she goes, I'm sorry, I cannot find them. We don't have another pair in that size. And I'm like, okay, well, they fit. So because that was part of the problem. We needed to make sure he grew in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Since I last bought him shoes. And so then I said, okay, well, we need to pick out another pair. So we go pick out another pair, and she scans that one. She goes, oh, we don't have that one in that size. And then like, so finally he finds these white pair, and they do have that one. And so she goes and gets that one, and then he needs because those were the football shoes. Then he needs soccer shoes, and they actually had the pair that we wanted in the right size and everything. But anyways, on the way out, I'm like talking to him. Um, I'm like, I don't know about what you've done before or whatnot, but I'm like, to me, when I was your age, I'm like, it was a big deal for me to get to pick my own shoes.
Oh, yeah.
As long as I didn't go like, as long as I didn't pick out the $300 pair or whatever, you know. But it's like that was a huge thing because it was like I got to pick out something for myself, and it was.
Well, yeah, shoes were like a phone today for kids. Like, yeah, no, I remember that too. Yeah, it had to be within reason, but whatever.
But he told me, he goes, well, I've always just worn whatever's comfortable, and I'm like, but we were looking at like Under Armour and Nike and Adidas, and I'm like, they're all name brand items. I'm like, they're all going to be comfortable.
Yeah, they're and it just depends on if an arrow or ride or something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't because I mean there was for some reason there's brands I'd never even heard of before, and I'm like I was definitely not gonna let them get one of those, but I'm just like that was a big deal growing up, being able to pick out my own shoes.
I remember when we got older and we come out here, there was a chain just for feet, and that was close. Or when we were getting close, when we were in high school, because they had the best selection, athletic shoes, running. But yeah, it like right, find I mean, a lot of it was fine. But you know, you had they had all the brand. Yeah. Overwhelming times, but yeah, that was the best
Yeah.
part of time to shoot. Because I remember, you know, when younger, it's like, no, we pay less. Mom pretty much picked out for the most part.
Well, even when I went to, I don't specifically remember when I started picking shoes out. Like I can specifically remember when I started picking my own music and stuff out, but I don't remember when I started picking my own shoes out. But because I can even remember going to Payless and being able to, like, ooh, I like that one. Can we get that one? And
Yeah, well, I guess I was talking more like, you know, I mean, I guess I did have a bit of a say, but I definitely had to be trained.
yeah.
Of course, like dressier music programs, band concerts.
Oh, see, that wasn't even a big deal because, I always had at least a nice outfit.
Well, like your church shoes, like the church shoes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess that's what I'm talking to.
Yeah. Well,
Church
I always had my church set up. You know, like the nice shirt and slacks or whatever, and dress shoes, and so even that wasn't ever a big deal. Like, yeah, you didn't get those. Are definitely maybe not necessarily got to pick out because they needed to look nice and or whatever, but. I also, though, well, that was more in high school. Because of show choir and stuff, I didn't really get a choice on what I wore to
Well, that because
be
everybody kind of had to sort of
concert.
look the same.
Because I was in show choir, so I had to have the tux on. So, like, when we were out there dressed nice for band, I just took the coat off or the tie off,
Yep.
and
Yep. Yeah, you know, band. But I could play. I kind of wished I would have kept up. I mean, I probably could dig my foot out, and I could probably still something. I was never. I mean, I was good enough, but never like. You know, I guess I didn't ever. I didn't have the desire to be like paid. It was just a thing I liked doing because, well, I like some of the people who ran band, of course, but also just felt something not everybody else activity because else after going to school, what else? I mean, it's really the reason I played football. I mean, I like.
see,
I like the
played-
sport, but like I knew I wasn't built to like go to college on, you know, kind of thing. I just did it for exercise. I liked the sport and aspect of it. Just again, another thing to do. But I never had any desire to be great at it.
Well,
You know,
see,
I worked hard
the-
at practice, but that's that's kind of about it.
See, football was, for me, it was because I realized that, kind of like what you're saying, but it was like I realized that I wasn't going to be playing it. It was the only 4 years that I'd actually get to play it, and
Right. Well,
whether I
that
play a
about
little
it.
bit
It's like
or
you only get to do it pretty much once in your life. I mean, other than
yeah.
a pickup game like at the Y or something.
But wrestling, I was more into wrestling, but that was because that sport is everything you do is on you.
Yeah,
So
it's a
if you
individual.
do good, it's on you, and if you do bad, it's on you.
Yeah.
And then like band and choir, I did practice at band. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say I had a desire to be like the greatest. Um, but I also like band and choir came so natural to me
See, I
that
couldn't.
it
I
was
knew I
kind of it
couldn't
was
sing, so I mean, I kind of would have liked to have done like show choir and stuff like that. But I just, you kind of did it in what 5th and 6th grade or whatever. Got a taste, and I just, I couldn't really sing. I couldn't see myself wanting to try to train my voice, especially at that age. You know, so I mean,
yeah.
I didn't have a talent for that. And the music, like or band, yeah, I practiced a lot early on because I wanted to be good enough to, because I wanted to march. I thought that was the fun, march, pep band, and all that. Concert band, take or leave kind of thing. But I really
It
like,
depended on what we played in concert.
yeah. But like
For
pep
me,
band, marching, all that, I really like that, um, that aspect. Well, in the pep band, just because, I liked a lot of the stuff we played. You know, you know, s- a lot of it was a lot of classic rock, and I grew up listening to that, so it's like kind of natural.
yeah,
But also just kind of, you got some of the perks of it. You got to sit up on stage. You got to kind of get the crowd going, or the idea was to get the crowd going, entertainment, and you could watch the game from up there, and occasionally got to travel. But that kind of, but, um, yeah, it was mostly liked what we played, and that's why I practiced well enough to know to play those kind of songs well. I didn't want to be Sarah Cole. I didn't want to be like that, I guess. you know, you remember.
yeah. I remember,
Yeah, or
but I did the stuff that she did where I did the solos for district band and stuff. But like I mean I like I said I would we would pick out the solos that I would do and then I would practice them at home and then at school before districts and stuff. But um but I also to me it was playing the music was fun. So and it wasn't. Yes, he had to practice, but it wasn't. It wasn't hard. It didn't. Kind of like what we talk about with the shirts, where the shirts are work and stuff. It didn't feel like. It didn't feel like work. It was just kind
right.
of fun to do.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like I said, the most fun I had was definitely that band and
And I liked to go. I mean, districts was fun, but I liked going doing those solos. That's because uh you went with a big group of people, but you only had your one song that you had to perform once,
yep.
and then you're in, but you got off the whole day of school because,
yeah.
and then you were kind of on your own because the teacher had to run around and go to everybody else's solos or duets or acapellas or whatever, and so they're the ones that had to really work that day. But as kids, you just kind of sat wherever everybody else was and just kind of did your own thing. And
Yeah, or watch. Yeah. Well, I like districts, but but not. I remember I might have done a solo once or twice, but I more or less I part of the as I remember. stuff. You remember, and I was trying to think of it the other while ago. You remember when, you know, or no, were we at Southern Valley? I don't know. We were either at Alma or Southern Valley, but like Southern Valley came, and I forget the other school, but there was like 3 of us, and there was this, you know, guest conductor or whatever.
Yeah.
That was I forget what was that for. Why did they? I can't for the life of me remember why.
So
You know, it was a huge, made one huge band, but out of 3 schools, basically. You remember?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was called or anything, but yeah, we would each perform our own songs, and then we'd also like perform songs
As a
as
school,
as
yeah.
all 3 of the bands. I don't. Who was the other? Was it Arapaho or Bertrand or?
Well, see, I swear it was after Southern Valley. So I'm
Well,
trying to think.
the first year that I remember doing it, we did do it in Elma, and the second year was in Southern Valley. But I also thought I remember doing that. I remember doing, or maybe that was had to been districts. We did districts out in
I just
Dundee
remember it was
County.
an all-day deal, and it was kind of
No,
grueling, is what I remember. You know?
No, it wasn't all day. That thing was only like half a day.
Well, I don't know. It seemed like it took a long time, you know, because we practiced, and of course you had to get used. I remember that conductor. I had a hard time getting used to just style.
It seems to me like we did that with Bertrand or something.
Yeah, I think you know what? I think you're right, because you know what? I think Brad was there, because you know he played trumpet. Forget what he you know. But anyway, well, I also remember. Well, why I know it's Southern Valley, because Jeff, me's buddy, but she was out section, and he was dating her. He played the trumpet. And they were, yeah. I mean, and I remember gave him a Jewel CD. I mean, I don't know why I remember that part about it, but it was pretty random. But
yeah.
But but yeah, like just remember.
I remember going to Southern Valley because that was like I think the last year that we did that, or last year that I did that.
Yeah, maybe
I don't remember what the conductor part was or where they were from. If they were from like UNK or
yeah, see, they were like something like that, UNK, or like they were a college,
or maybe it was like Hastings College or something. Or surely they didn't get someone like from Doane College or something to drive out there.
You know,
it had to be in a local college. I would have
like
thought
either
Hastings or UNK.
Something like that. That was. I just remember it seemed like it was a long day.
I don't remember it was. Well, it kind of was because we had to basically. You spent the afternoon with the conductor, and he, even though it was a big band, he'd listen, and then he would tear everything apart and like practice different sections with
different
groups, he'd be like, okay, now I need to practice with the trumpets, or now I need to practice with saxophones or whatever, and he'd have to go through every group, and so then it got kind of boring and dragged forever because he had to wait for him.
That's what I remember so much. It was a lot of sitting around waiting. Because, he'd be working with the trumpets, drums, working with us in the woodwinds.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
and like. Yeah, nothing that was when he was breaking things apart like that. Nothing that he was talking about was ever relevant to what your part was until he got to your section.
Yeah, I guess, and maybe that's why I remembered. It just seemed grueling because I feel like I didn't get anything out of it. And I suppose just being better teaching style, I always got something out of instruction. Break it down
Yeah.
when he'd break it down,
Yeah. Well, and he didn't have to when he broke down sections. He didn't have to go into them too long, and if he did, he would dismiss the rest of the class, or like say, okay, we're gonna need the last part of this class to go through this, so you guys can just put your instruments away. And
yeah, I was gonna say, and
do study hall or whatever. He would actually dismiss you because he realized that this is gonna take some work or something. But I want to say it was like some kind of a conference thing, but it wasn't like it was a conference competition. It was just a get together, but it was only 3 bands out of the conference.
And then didn't we play a concert later on that day, or
Yeah, that was the other thing. You get done with the afternoon, and then you had to wait till the evening because then you put on a concert that evening, and you had to go through all 3 bands as a single, and then the end of the concert was all of us together.
Yeah.
And that was, if I remember right, we also had to wear our uniforms.
Well, not
So
during
yeah,
the
it's-
day, but at night, yeah.
At
the evening,
the concert, because you had to wear the school colors, so then we also had to drag those out, which
Yeah. Oh man, and I've seen, because occasionally I see stuff posted on Facebook, because, well, Cindelar anymore, but Sammy, she's got kids, some of them are in college now, but got all ages, so I still get to see, and it's like, gosh, they got like, not that our uniforms weren't nice, but ours were very like traditional. These are more like modern, and there's hat, no plume, no those, which I thought were cool. Very formal. Cool as in I like the formality, but like there was a lot of parts to them that you had to make sure all the buttons were there and all this. And now they're more a little more simplistic, more modern. I'm gonna call it kind of here, so that's why I'm just parked.
okay.
We'll wrap it the next out done. But I guess it was interesting. It's like, after all those years, because I remember seeing, I was in elementary, the high school kids wearing the uniforms we were wearing, and then all of a sudden, we get out of there and they finally update them,
Oh, well, you were a little bit, because you had been a couple classes below me.
Yeah. Not just 2.
They were only a couple years old. I mean, by the time you got there, they were probably like 4 or 5. But because I don't remember what the originals look like, but I can remember there being and I say originals because I'm sure there had been many uniforms before then too. But I can remember I can remember him changing them over. I guess we'll put it that way.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. It
I
seems like they
can
always
remember
were that.
Yeah, they changed them a few years before.
Actually, come over here by this wheel right here. I was seeing it off, like, on your game. Are they moving a little bit?
No.
Oh, well, then look at if you can't. Like, this wheel is like turning backwards, just like very slowly, a little bit here and there.
Oh, yeah, it is. Actually, that's funny. I was watching that streamer last night, and he has the same problem in 25.
Oh, I just never noticed it. I'm like, because we were standing there and I was talking, I was looking out, what's moving over there? Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just not my game glitching out. Okay.
No, it is moving.
Okay. Well, anyway.
And apparently it's something they didn't. Well, I mean, this is a mod, so
Well, right.
I don't think that's necessarily a game issue, but.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna end my stream.
Yeah, so